Clouds TV, empowering lives.
Tunasoma kitabu cha Danieli 10 mstari wa 12. Danieli 10 mstari wa 12. How to win spiritual battles. What is this that we call spiritual battles? What's the difference between the spiritual battles and the physical battles? Because there must have been a difference between the spiritual battle and the physical battle. And which is much stronger than the other one? The spiritual battle or the physical battle? What is more vicious and dangerous? The spiritual battle or the physical battle? Which one will you choose if it is a must? If it is a must that you have to encounter one battle, which one will you choose? Will you choose the physical? Or are you going to choose the spiritual? Because all the battles have a dimension. And this dimension is what we are going to look at. The dimension of the spiritual battles. Because most of us are faced by spiritual battles which we don't understand. Some of us are being suppressed, but we don't understand. But in actual sense, if we can be able to understand how this spiritual battle came to be, then we will be able to win any single battle. Because a spiritual battle is not as bad as you think. It's not as dangerous as you think. But it becomes dangerous because you don't understand it. And that's what the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. Therefore, I went down to look at what is knowledge. And I discovered beside the knowledge there are other three things that you need to understand. Because somebody will go to school and say he has knowledge. But I discovered going to school does not give you knowledge. And even having better lives does not give you knowledge. Because knowledge is from God. So you must have a knowledge of God to be able to understand the deep things of the Spirit. And number two, you must have the wisdom of God. So that you'll be able to interpret and see things in a godly manner. Because many things that are happening in your life are happening not because you don't know them, but it's because you are not able to interpret in a godly manner. And that is why you are fighting battles that are not yours. God told Jehoshaphat that the battle does not belong to you. Leave it to me, because this does not belong to you. You don't even understand it, and you cannot know how it is. This is why we have many challenges in our lives, because we have even had sex with people of the same blood. We have married the people of the same blood. And we have done many things from the people from the same blood. And if you go down the line of the DNA, then you find that we have so many challenges in our lives. You find a family that was supposed to be somewhere. The entire family is full of poverty. The entire family is full of misfortunes. The entire family is full of premature deaths. The entire family has chronic diseases.
Unakuta familia hiyo kuna magonjwa mbalimbali.
Someone does not have cancer,
muda ina cancer,
it is high blood pressure.
Akona high blood pressure.
If it's not high blood pressure,
kama si high blood pressure,
it's blood sugar.
Akona
if it's not sugar,
kama si
it's HIV.
Ana ukimwi.
If it's not HIV, it is something that is not treatable. It is not because there is cancer. It is not because we have high blood sugar. It's not because the high blood pressure. But this is a generational problem. It is a generational problem. It is a disease that was created because of genetical meeting. Because genetically we met with the people that was not supposed to meet with us. And these genes coming together, they produce children that have autism. They produce children that have different diseases that cannot be treated. And even if the children, they will grow, there will be premature deaths. Even if they grow, you can take them to good schools, you can take them to good universities, but at the end of the day, they will not be successful because of the blood that is speaking there, because of the nature of the kind of a family they are in together. This causes us, it has caused to have retarded children, it has caused us to have broken marriages, it has caused us to have people that are not productive in the society. Not because they are bad people, not because they are not educated, because you can find a family full of education. You get a family, you think you are in Cambridge University. You go to a family, you think that you are in New York University. You get a family, you think you are in Harvard University. But all of them are drunkards. They are well educated. All of them, they are all drunkards. And you get another family, they are well people, they are educated people, but marriage cannot stand. No one of the family has a marriage. No one of the family has a child. They will find full of mischiefs. Things are not working. The family, the father is rich, yes. The mother is rich, yes. They are going to church. They brought us up nicely. They made us to become what we are. That is why we went to school. That is where we went to church. We started from Anglican. We are still in Anglican. The only church I know is Anglican. The church I've ever been to, Anglican. I was baptized in Anglican. I grew up in Anglican. Everything confirmation was in Anglican. I've never been to bar. I've never to be in a bar. I grew up knowing having sex with a woman outside marriage was wrong. But it reached an age, an age of 30 years, an age of 40 years. Yes, something happened to me. I found myself drinking. I found myself hopping from one woman to another woman. Me who was never brought up in a bad way, I was brought up in a very good way. The only God I knew was Jesus Christ. I knew nothing apart from Jesus Christ. But at my 40, that is when I changed. I stopped worshiping my God. I got out of it. Then I went back to do my research. Our elder brother, at 40, that is when he started drinking. Then I went to do another research. Our elder sister, at 40, that is when she started moving out. So you find there is a pattern in a family. That at 40, that is when they start.
Miaka 40 mambo
At
inaanza.
30, that is when they start.
Miaka 30 mambo inaanza.
At 25, that is when diseases comes.
Miaka
You won't find another family.
Nikaenda kwa familia
At
nyingine.
20, at 25,
Na miaka ya 20
their firstborn became HIV
mambo ya
positive.
umalaya inaanza kuingia.
At 25,
Miaka
the
20
secondborn became blood sugar.
mambo ya ugonjwa wa sukari ikakuja.
At 25,
Nilikuwa na miaka
the
25.
thirdborn had high blood pressure.
Thirdborn akawa na mambo ya
At
kupata damu.
25,
Akiwa na miaka
the
20.
fourthborn died of a road accident.
Waine
At
akafa na
25,
hakuna
the
25.
fifthborn
Watano
was killed by robbers.
akakufa kwa kuizi.
Now you find
Na ukakuta
from the firstborn
kutoka first
to the lastborn,
kinyoro wake higa.
already 2 are dead because of accidents. Those who are living,
Na alia maratura.
they better have died
Kafa magi
because they are not human.
ni tono tita.
Because they are not living.
Ni tita
They are
maratura.
just existing.
Ni kama watu
They don't have any future.
hawana
They
maisha.
don't have any plan.
Hawana
It
mipango.
is because
Ni todo wake.
there is a spirit
Kwina roho.
speaking the family.
Roho aragiria
The
family.
father is rich,
Papa ni mutogu.
drives cars.
Anatora gari tega.
Outside there we have several cars.
Kore tuna gari ishemeze
We have
mami.
tractors.
Tuna maudu
A
manene.
large track of shamba.
Wena miguda minene.
Everything is good.
Kila kitu iko sawa.
There is no one single child
Hakuna hata mtoto hata mmoja.
can benefit from what you have.
Hawezi kupata.
Nobody can inherit what you have.
Hakuna mtu anaweza
By
miliki.
the time you die,
Wakati utakapokufa,
everything will go with you.
vitu vitaenda na
By the
wewe.
time you die,
Wakati
the
utakapokufa,
land shamba you have
mashamba
will
unayo
go with you.
itakufuata nyuma.
That is not normal.
Hiyo si kitu ya kawaida.
That is not normal.
Hiyo si ya
There
kawaida.
is a God, there is a spirit behind
Kuna roho nyuma
that
yake
is causing this problem.
inayofanya mambo haya.
Because the blessings of God
Kwa sababu baraka za
comes
Mungu
from one generation
ni kutoka
to
kizazi
the second generation,
mpaka kizazi cha
to the third generation, to the fourth generation, up to the fifth generation.
hata kizazi cha
The
tano.
blessings of a father
Inadhimosha faa.
goes to the fifth generation.
Inaenda mpaka kizazi cha
It
tano.
will be manifested in
Itakayofanyika
the fifth generation.
mpaka kizazi cha
So
tano.
it means
Inamaanisha
whatever I'm investing now,
nilicho nacho
it is supposed to exist until the fifth generation.
napaswa kuishi
But
mpaka
if
kizazi cha
I investing,
na kwa
if I am investing
kama
and
ninazalisha
I have nobody
na sina
to
mtu
continue with my investment,
takaendeleza hiyo mambo,
there is a challenge.
kuna
And this challenge is not physical.
na hizi changamoto
Because if it was physical,
kama ni physical
you wouldn't be having money.
haungekuwa na pesa,
You wouldn't be rich.
haungekuwa tajiri,
You wouldn't have gone to school.
haungeenda shule.
But behind everything that is happening around you,
Kila kitu kinachofanyika
there is a spirit
ni roho
that was manifested long time ago.
inayoendelezwa.
What you are doing today,
Kenya kinafanyika leo,
what you are doing today,
kilia wewe na ndituleko
it
Mungu
will at one point,
ni kutoka
it will at one point
siku moja itakuwa
manifest in your children.
itazalishia watoto
The
wako na
kind
watoto
of
wako.
life you are in today.
Life ile maisha
If
unaishi,
you are a prostitute, remember,
kama wewe ni malaya,
whatever you are planting, that's a seed you are planting.
kile urahada ne bego urahada
It is a seed you are planting.
ne bego urahada.
If you are a thief,
Kama wewe ni
it
mwizi
is a seed you are
ne
planting.
bego uhada.
If you are a murderer,
Wewe ngoe
it
mulaga
is a seed you are
ne
planting.
bego uhada.
Whatever you are doing,
Kile yode
it
beka
is a seed you are
ne bego
planting.
uhada.
And this seed
Na bego
will manifest
itazaa
a seed.
hii mbegu
I planted it.
ambayo nimeipanda leo.
I planted it
Niliyoipanda
at my age of 30.
katika miaka ya 30.
Now, that is the time I planted the seed.
Hiyo ndio nilipanda ile mbegu
When I was 30.
nikiwa na 30 years.
So at every 30 years,
O miaka 30 ya kinya.
every family member at the 30 years,
Family mtu wa family ya miaka
when they
30
reach 30,
ikifika hapo,
that is when this seed
hapo ndipo hii mbegu
that I planted
ambayo
will
niliyoipanda
be manifesting at 30 years.
itazalisha kwa hiyo
If
miaka.
you find in a family,
Kama una familia,
whatever is manifesting at 20 years.
kinachozalika kinazo miaka
Whoever
20.
planted the seed,
Kile mbegu ya udewa
he planted at the 20th year.
ahadi na miaka
That is
20.
why it is manifesting
Hiyo ndio sababu
at the
inazalisha
20th year.
miaka
So
20.
at every 20th year,
miaka yothe 20
something will happen to you, or will happen to somebody else, and that you'll find in a family, they become sick at the year 20. When they reach 20, a disease will come, and that will go. At 20, somebody will have an accident. At 20, somebody will have something that will happen to them. Because the seed was planted by that man when he was in his 20s. So look at what you are planting now. What you are planting now, or what you planted, this is what will happen to you, and it will happen to your children at the particular day and particular season when you planted this disease. And this is what now forms the foundation of challenges in the family. There are people that have never been able to have a sustainable family. You get married today, tomorrow you don't have a wife. Your brother did the same. Today he married and tomorrow didn't have a wife. Your sister got married but today he didn't have a husband. Go back, trace from your mother. Go back, trace to your grandmother, and even to your great grandmother. You will discover where the spirit of polygamy started. Because when you find you are not able to have a husband, it is because there is a spirit of a polygamous in your family. You know, because we got saved, and now I don't want to share a wife, to share a husband with anybody else. So when this spirit, when the spirit matures to manifest, because this spirit must mature for it to manifest. It will only manifest in the season when it was planted. The season it was planted, that is when your marriage will go down. Because that is the time it was planted. That is the time it was germinated. And this is what really we don't understand. Because you discover your firstborn brother,
your firstborn brother,
he got a divorce after 5 years. Your secondborn brother got a divorce after 5 years of marriage. Your sister got a divorce after 5 years of marriage. That is where the spirit manifests. And not if you don't understand and look at the pattern, even if you get to another one, it will take you 5 years of marriage and it will go down. So you need to understand the patterns, so for you to be able to know what kind of a spirit operating in your family. And you see even diseases, this thing we call autism. These challenges we have of young, small babies. You give birth to a baby nicely, but at the age of 10, some deformation starts in the system of the baby, and all of a sudden you are told this is autism. You ask yourself questions. How? In our family we don't have such a thing. Then you ask yourself, let me check on somebody else. The entire family, you find there is nothing. Wait until your younger brother, his son or daughter reaches 10, and autism comes. Then wait until another sister or brother, when their daughter reaches 10, another challenge comes. Now that is where you come to understand. It is not a coincidence. There is a spiritual mistake that happened in our life. That is the point. When you see there are 3 or 4 cases, and there are 4 or 5 in the family circle, that's now there is a case to worry. Because this is not normal. There is a problem in the family. Now this now warrants you to go and dig deeper. You dig deeper to understand what could be in your family. To understand what could be the situation in your family. You don't start jumping to one pastor to another pastor. You don't even go to a ganga. First of all, go back to the family. Don't go looking for Ndura. Just go back to the family first. You will discover where the problem started. You will discover because you will get old enough people in the family. Who knows what happened? Who knows what transpired? Then from there you will be told what happened in your family and what you should do. Now that is the time you now look for a spiritual man. Because when you discover that this is a spiritual problem, that is the time you'll go looking for a spiritual man. Because now the spiritual man, God will use him to interpret the formula behind the challenges you have. But before you come to the spiritual man, go back to your family. Because the family has a tree, and through the tree you'll be able to go down to the root canal, and you will be able to know where did the problem start. At what age level did it start? At what age group did it start? And this is what will help you now to do a spiritual battle. Spiritual battles are just not fought. You don't just fight in a spiritual battle. You will struggle forever. And you will be completely confused. You will not make anything. Pastors will eat your money. Bishops will eat your money. Waganga will eat your money. And nothing you will get out of it. Nothing you will get out of it. Because you cannot be able to fight a disease you don't know. If you go to a hospital, a good consultant will direct you to go to the laboratory. They will not treat you until you get a result. Once you get a result from the laboratory, that is where the time they will start treating you. And there is always a first line of the laboratory, the first line of treatment. Then once they discover the medicine are not responding, they move to the second line. Now you get to a deeper research about yourself. And then that is the time you see medicine has changed. Because more investigations have been done. The same thing happened in your spiritual life. Before you start jumping from one pastor to another, before jumping from one church to another, go back to your family. Understand the family tree. Understand the bloodline of your family. Understand the genetics of your family. You will be able to know. And maybe it is only something small. And because of mediocre Christianity, you are told your grandfather, when before he died, he asked your father to go and give him a goat. Just a goat. Not because of anything. Just the way I would ask my daughter, my son-in-law. If that has ever been mentioned to you, if that thing has ever been mentioned to you, or your husband has been ever told by your father, I want you to buy me a goat, that is a curse. If the goat will not come, it will come to haunt you. It will come to haunt you. If you don't take it when he is alive, you will take it when he is in the grave. Now tell that a Christian to take a goat who Jesus died for him, and all these goats were swallowed by Jesus. When he was dying, he died with them. You tell a Christian, take this goat to your father. He said Jesus died because of such goats. That is being stupid here. Because this thing Jesus did not end. In the book of Matthew, Jesus says, I did not come to change the laws of Moses. I came to give them power. So if Moses was asking one sufuria, now I have come to confirm 2 sufurias. So Jesus never changed anything. Jesus brought our relationship back with God. Jesus is second Adam. Jesus is second Adam. When our relationship with God was broken, God found a way to how to return mankind back to him. And that is when he brought Jesus Christ. So Jesus came to bring the bridge that was broken. And then Jesus came and said, I have come to strengthen the laws of Moses. And then Jesus, when he was born, when Jesus was born, he was born out of a prophetic word. It was a prophetic word. So everybody knew that Jesus is the Son of God. Even his own father, who never birthed him, knew that this is not ordinary child, because the angel came. Even the king Herod knew this is not ordinary child. The people in the society knew this was not ordinary child. The mother knew this is not ordinary child. The elders knew this was not ordinary child. Everybody knew this is not ordinary. But being not ordinary, but being not ordinary, they took him through the process of a son of a Jew. They took him through every process of a son of a Jew. He was circumcised in 8 days. He was told to give an offering of a dove. Gave a dove. And they gave a pigeon. And a bucket of unga. And that was their culture. And that was what it was done to every child of a Jew. And even today, this is what they're doing. The people that gave us this word we're speaking, the people who we speak this word, where it came from, these the people that did this to Jesus Christ. And at 12 years, he was taken to the synagogue, where he was taught about the culture. Remember, this is a son. This is a son who is not ordinary. And this son was regarded regarded highly.
Na mwana oyo
But he was taking the processes that was required of a son of a Jew. So when Jesus came, when he grew, he never changed from a Jew. He remained a Jew. He lived a Jew. And walked a Jew. And until today, they do like a Jew. They live like a Jew. Because he never came to change anything. He came to empower what was existing. He came to empower. He came to empower. Jesus came to empower what was existing. And what all the prophets of God, they did what was necessary. And what was it for them? And when Jesus was going, he told the disciples, do not go beyond. Just remain in your society until you are convinced. Until you are convinced. Until you change these people. Beyond. That's the main. That is what he told the Jew, the disciples. The person who came to speak to the Gentiles, it is Paul. So he had to get another person who will deal with the Gentiles. But him, he remained with his army. And he told the army, the 12 disciples, remain amongst your community. And there this woman that came to ask for bread. And he told Jesus, give me a piece of bread. And Jesus said, this bread, it is not for you people, but for the Jew. It is not right. Then the woman said, please, even if it is the crumbles, it's even the crumbles that are falling on the table of the owners, please give me. Jesus said, it is not good to take the bread of your children and throw it to the dogs. And the woman said, yes, even if I am a dog, I will share the crumbles. Out of mercy, Jesus gave her, and she ate the same bread. But it was not meant for her. So the culture remained. The culture remained. The kind of system of Christianity that was brought to us, it was not brought by the Jews to us. Because had it been brought by the Jews, they will tell you, do not leave your culture. Jesus came to empower your culture. Jesus came to uplift you. Jesus came to make you better. Jesus came to transform you. Jesus did not come to change anything. He came to empower you. But the kind of people that brought this kind of they are the British people, they are the German people, they are the Belgian people, they are the Portuguese people. These people had their own culture, and it is their culture that they brought to us. It is not the Bible they brought. They used the Bible to get a leeway, to get a direction, to get a way to come to Africa. They used the Bible, but they came to teach us about their culture. Culture is given by God. Culture is given by God. It is only God that gives you a culture. It is never given by a man. It is never given by a white man. Because the white man has their culture, and the black man has their culture, and the Asian has their culture, and the Caucasian has their culture, the Japanese have their culture, the Chinese have their culture, Africans have their culture. So through our culture, that is where our God will manifest. Through our culture, God will manifest. God will be seen. Through our foundation. Through our foundation. That is what makes you.
Amen.
And And when you see,
na lilia ukuona,
when you go to the embassy,
lilia wathi embassy,
or you go to the government,
ona lilia wathi thirikari,
or you go to the airport,
ona wathi airport,
they will ask you for this finger
and
these 4 fingers. They will tell you to place your 4 fingers on the camera, and this one on the camera, or maybe the 2 of them. And also they will be having a camera, another camera looking at you. They are after your eyelid. They want to look at the eyelid, because the finger, nobody has it on earth. You are an original person. And the eyelid, nobody else has it. That is when they are doing the DNA. They use the fingers. So why the fingers? Because the fingers, they are carrying your anatomy. They are carrying your frequencies, the energy, the power, the authority of you. It is in your hand. That is where you are very original. So the frequencies that control you, the energies that control you, is in your hand. That's why God does not bless your legs. God does not bless your mouth. He blesses the work of your hand. Because this is where we have the frequencies that gives you blessings. And that's why they will want to take your fingers to go and change the DNA that you are. Because through the fingerprints, they take your DNA. They circulate it all over the world. So if you commit crime here, and you go to Moscow, they only need your hand. They only need your hand. And once they take your hand, the computers in Moscow will say this is a criminal, but he is from Kenya. Therefore, when you are speaking on originality, God does not speak to fake people. God does not bless fake people. Because when you defraud yourself, the originality of God, when you remove yourself from the systems of God, you are removed from the radar. And that is how African integrity and destiny, that is how when the white people came to Africa, they took away our destiny because they were able to take our DNA, and which was a blessing for us was substituted, and then we became slaves. We became their workers. Psychologically, we became slaves. Spiritually, we became slaves. And we started thinking like them. Like Kadesh Barnea, where they discovered, that is the time where they discovered they have been moving here for 38 years. That is the portal that needed to be cancelled. When I flew from UK, I had to go to the portal that UK was using to control Kenya from. And I had to go to the mountains of Ndura, where the Vatican was controlling this nation from. And again I had to go to Rironi. Oh, Rironi, the other somewhere there near Rironi, where you have the oldest Catholic church in Kiabu, Tigoni. I had to go there. That is where they have another portal. That the energy that controls Kenya spiritually, I had to go there. Demolish it. Ndura, demolish it. Kakuma, demolish it. Kenya is becoming free.
Yes.
Kenya is becoming free.
Kenya inaachiliwa.
You don't need a weapon.
Hauhitaji vitu vya.
You don't need a panga.
Hauhitaji panga.
Because when I was in Mungiki, I used panga.
Wakati nilipokuwa Mungiki nilitumia upanga.
God came to my life.
Nilipokuja kwa maisha.
He told me no weapons.
Hakuna silaha.
No, it's about knowing the secrets of God.
Ni kujua siri za Mungu.
If you understand the secrets of God,
ukijua siri za Mungu,
and understand the secrets of your enemy,
na kujua siri za adui yako,
you just need to walk. You just need to walk.
Tembea tu.
Can you rise up on your feet?
Simama na miguu yako.
Can you need to walk?
Simama na miguu yako.
You just need to walk.
Unahitaji kutembea.
And defeat your enemies.
Na kushinda adui yako.
And destroy your enemies.
Na kuharibu adui.